Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, it's me, Professor Cody, and I wanted to talk about, well, have a chat about the new Legends ZA trailer, which we'll get to very shortly. How's everyone going today? Some of you might be waking up. I'm coming to the end of my day, and so yeah, being able to enjoy having a look at the new trailer and all that, and got a few things that I thought would be kind of cool to go over. So let's have a look here. Sorry, I should also mention this is my first time live streaming, so this is all a very new setup. So please bear with me if I'm a little bit slow to get to a couple things. If you got any questions or anything like that, make sure you drop in the chat. Happy to answer them and talk about practically anything. Let's go over to this one here. All right. So I'm going to quickly go through the. We'll watch through the video. It's not the first time that I've seen it. I saw it this morning, and very much enjoyed it. But I thought I'd quickly go over it again. One, to refresh my memory a wee bit, as I haven't watched it quite so recently today, and go over my general thoughts, and then we'll pull into some of the primary things I want to talk about. One of them in particular was to do with the new Pokemon professor that we've got for this game, which is quite a step away from what I was expecting. And it's not a bad thing, but it does leave me curious. So let's have a bit of a watch. Now, it's obviously looking so much nicer than Scarlet and Violet. I haven't yet decided if I'll be getting this on launch yet, as I don't have a Switch 2, so I would be needing to play this on the Switch 1. And I'm imagining these graphics are probably Switch 2 quality, so I kind of feel like it'd be a bit of a letdown. So I got to think through that one a wee bit. I'd like to be able to get it at launch, but we'll see. I'm really excited for the different style of gaming mechanics. I didn't get to play Legends Arceus, which kind of sucks. Haven't had that opportunity yet. Hopefully I'll get to try that at some point. This is looking really fun though. And the star of the video. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I have some thoughts, but
Pokemon Legends ZA. We'd like to introduce this game's new story, which takes place in a city striving to be somewhere that belongs to both people and Pokemon. After you arrive in Lumio City, either Urbane or Tawny will invite you to join Team MZ. Team MZ's objective is to protect the city of Lumios. Let's get to know Team MZ a little better.
I like the variety in the characters. It's quite nice.
And there's Lita,
there's quite a lot of neat little details in their designs too, which I appreciate.
As part of Team MZ, you'll spend your days in Lumio City with this crew. Lumio City looks different by day and by night. During the day, you can explore the city and find lots of Pokemon to add to your party.
Wonderful.
Then, by night, you can compete in the ZA Royale with the Pokemon you've raised, aiming to climb the ranks.
I wonder how the day-night cycle is going to work in this.
As you advance in
is it going to be controllable?
Royale, battles against powerful trainers
or is that going to be like story-based?
One of those trainers, Corbeau, is the boss of the Rust Syndicate, an organization operating in
Hey,
Lumio City.
Toby.
It
Good
seems like
morning.
he has some kind of business with the members
Welcome
of
along.
Team MZ.
Oh man, I'm loving the style. I feel like it's got a really sweet artistic style to it that feels quite consistent. I'm really loving it. Because I don't have a Switch 2 yet, I'm still skeptical as to whether or not I should buy it at launch, because I'm kind of scared that if I brought it for my regular Switch that it's not going to look this good. And I don't want to sully that because it looks fantastic. I haven't had anything that I've seen hasn't really thrown me off, or
all kinds of encounters await you in Lumio
yeah,
City.
nothing looks particularly subpar. It's quite cool.
The best detective in Lumios, will ask you to help.
How have you been feeling about it?
You can find people around the city who need a hand and solve their problems.
I'm looking forward to seeing all these side quests.
Mabel is
I'm a sucker for side quests.
Pokemon Research Lab. By catching Pokemon, you can aid her research. In return, you can receive useful items for your adventures in this game.
Lots of useful items I will never use because I'm a hoarder.
Something strange has been occurring in Lumio City recently.
I quite like this edition.
Pokemon have been mega evolving on their own and going rogue.
Like, I feel in some ways it's kind of like an excuse to have these little kind of raid areas. But at the same time, I don't dislike it. I feel like it adds more to the lore rather than just feeling purely like an excuse to do something.
Has distinctive Dragonair-like features, like wings on its head and a pearl on its tail. While tackling rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, you'll want an ally from Team MZ at your side, plus strong bonds with your Pokemon.
Gosh, the battle system just looks fantastic.
This city
It's going to be so much fun.
Stories. Different wishes intertwine, seeking for people and Pokemon to coexist. Pokemonlegends ZA, coming Thursday, October 16, 2025.
Wonderful. All right. That is very neat. I'm looking forward to seeing this come out and being able to have a go. Let's start with talking about the alpha Pokemon. See if I can find one of those shots again. Where are we? Oh, too far. There we go.
Detective in Lumios will ask you to help with her detective work.
There we go. This fella. And we saw the was a Houndoom earlier. Excuse me. This I thought was unusual, I guess, from a gameplay perspective, because it was established in this video that we have rampaging mega evolutions that can't control their own power and are just destroying things. And while the alpha Pokemon, at least my understanding of the alpha Pokemon in Legends Arceus, weren't quite that, they were definitely larger and more aggressive, which, unless Tyranitar is normally that big, the Tyranitar from the Mega Evolution battle felt huge. So I'm wondering exactly what do they have? Like, did they just bring the red glowing eyes of the alpha Pokemon back because they had that in Legends Arceus and they felt like they had to do it again, and it's just a tougher, like a tougher battle. Actually, come to think of it, Watchog, gosh, how tall would that be based on that door? That's easy, like 6, 7, maybe like 7 or 8 foot tall, which is huge. How tall are Watchog? I'm pretty sure they're not that tall. So maybe this is a similar. I don't know. I don't quite know the lore behind the alpha Pokemon of Legends Arceus. So I'm not sure what caused them to do that, but in this one, I kind of feel like it's a bit strange. I feel like the rampaging Mega Evolutions, that's fine. I think that's fantastic. I'm not entirely sure about the alpha Pokemon, aside from just being a gimmick to have a harder battle against a Pokemon that you're familiar with. So we'll see. But at the moment they kind of look like they might be like a mid tier. So if we like standard Pokemon, then you've got alpha Pokemon as a slight step up in strength, and then you've got the rampaging Mega Evolutions, which they say you have to battle Megas with Megas, implying that you need all that extra power. So I'm not entirely certain if I think this is necessary, but still could be fun though. It'll be interesting to see how they pull that one off. Nonetheless, though, I think the way that the Pokemon have been shown just around is absolutely phenomenal. Let's jump back into just a couple of these initial scenes. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Love seeing them lounging, walking. Yeah, that shot there. I love that shot. That's fantastic. A lot of great stuff. Excuse me. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this, as you guys are probably much more familiar than I am with this. So do let me know. I also had some thoughts on the Rust Syndicate. Let's jump across. Oh, too far. Too far. Ranking up. Fantastic. Here we go. All right. Couple things I thought were odd. This to me screams poison type. And then we have a Weezing on the right, which is fine. That makes sense. Then we have a King Gambit. That's weird. We go in further. Now we have Steelix. Okay, again, weird. We have Arbok. Cool, that makes sense. I love the look of this place. This place looks fantastic. There's the King Gambit again. There's a lot of like snake motifs in the shirt designs, which makes sense. This dude over here is very, I don't know what vibes he's given me. I feel like he's got staples all through his clothes. Yeah. But we have an Overquill over here, which again leans to the poison type. I'm interested in this thing. I'm not entirely certain what that would be, but I feel like it should be connected to it doesn't quite look like writing as opposed to iconography. But we have, so what was it? We had Weezing, King Gambit, Steelix, Arbok, and Overquill. So Weezing, Arbok, and Overquill, yeah, makes sense for poison types. Then we have King Gambit, which I believe was a dark and steel type. Dark and steel? Yes. Anyway. And then we have Steelix, being a ground and steel. Initially, when I saw this, I wondered if we were going to have a few syndicates to deal with instead of gyms. So they're all wearing badges, syndicate badges. Maybe if you can beat them, you get to like become an honorary member of the syndicate and you get a badge. It'd be kind of cool. But while this one screams poison type, we're left with King Gambit and Steelix, which are not poison. And it doesn't even fit, like, with these having like poison and dark vibes, like the dark vibes don't even really match the other Pokemon. Like, it matches King Gambit, but it doesn't match Weezing. Arbok is Overquill. Is that dark type? Feels like it would be. So I'm kind of confused by this. I'd love to hear some thoughts in this area. I'm really excited to see where this goes. And being that they have some kind of business with the members of Team MZ, they have a bit of a story to them, which is fantastic. I'm all up for as many stories as we can get in this. It looks like they're packing it. Hey, let's make sure I try and say this right. Trolendo? Sorry if I'm butchering that. I'm probably butchering that, but hey, how you doing? Great to have you here. Have you been able to see the Legends ZA trailer yet? Like, what are your thoughts on it? So far, I'm loving how it's looking. I think there's a lot of great potential for storytelling. A lot of the quality seems really nice. I'm hoping that's consistent throughout the game, but so far it's looking really good. I was just mentioning about the Rust Syndicate here. I thought this was going to be a poison based, like the equivalent of a gym replacement. But there's a couple Pokemon in here, being King Gambit and Steelix, that are seen throughout their building that don't make sense for it. One thing I did wonder, which would be kind of cool, is if this is a gym replacement, rather than it being a mono type gym, would be to have a dual type. So in this case, with King Gambit and Steelix both having being part Steel type, and then you've got Weezing, Arbok, and Overquill being poison, but having a poison and steel combination would be pretty cool. And if we were getting more syndicates that were also having these dual type teams rather than the typical single type, or primarily single type team, I think that would be really fascinating. I think it'd be so much fun. It'd make it harder to just try and overlevel one Pokemon and just mow a whole thing down. So add a little bit more challenge to it, which I think would be great. But I'm loving their designs. I love the dojo-esque feel of their area. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at... oh, I had a note on the Rogue Mega Evolutions. Where is that? This battle. Am I in the right place here? Yes. Kinda. No. Is it back further? Now let's have a look here. Okay, here I think it's this shot. So an attack lands and it's dropping little orbs of Mega Evolution energy. I thought this was really cool. So Pokemon Mega Evolving on their own. There's a couple of instances that I can think of this so far. We have Rayquaza, which just consumes enough meteoroids that apparently have Mega Evolution energy in them to Mega Evolve just by itself. And then we have cases of Mewtwo in, I don't remember, I think it's one of the movies that I haven't watched. But Mewtwo can Mega Evolve out of sheer will, which is really cool. And kind of bringing that here, we've got that, you've got that surge of purple energy around them, which obviously denotes that it's got a lot more power than it usually does. It looks a bit out of it before it Mega Evolves, and then it's just on a destructive rampage. But there's so much energy pulled up in this Pokemon. When you hit it, you're knocking Mega Evolution energy out of it. And then your character is running around and picking it up. I find that interesting because I'm imagining that that's powering the keystone in your Mega Bracelet, which would imply that to Mega Evolve, you have to get the energy from somewhere. So in Scarlet and Violet, we had the Terrestrial Orb, which had a crystal in it from Area 0. But the crystal, while it could contain terrestrial energy, still had to be charged. And so you had to go to a Pokemon Center. You could use it once. You had to go to a Pokemon Center to recharge it. And then you could terrestrialize again. It kind of looks like here that as you're attacking these rogue Mega Evolutions, they're dropping Mega Evolution energy. Let me just swap over to the right hand side so we can see this a bit better. Oh, and turn that on. There we go. So we can see we've got one here, maybe a third over the back here. So the attack that's just landed on Mega Tyranitar has just knocked 3 pieces of Mega Evolution energy out of it. And then you're running around collecting it, and then just after this, we Mega Evolve Dragonite. So does that mean you'd have a Dragonite to item? That would, yeah. So in this particular scenario, you're having to charge your keystone to be able to Mega Evolve. So it'd be interesting to see in the game whether ordinarily you can go to a Pokemon Center, charge your Mega Stone, and then you can Mega Evolve once between visits to the Pokemon Center. But if you're in this battle and you're knocking Mega Evolution energy out of this rogue Pokemon because it just has too much surging within it, then you could possibly Mega Evolve multiple times or sustain, because I believe Mega Evolution lasted the whole battle, didn't it? Did it last the whole battle? Did it last a number of turns? I haven't played those games in so long. Gosh. But it does look like there is a limiting factor to when you can Mega Evolve, so you can't necessarily Mega Evolve right out the gates. But if there is some sort of limiting factor for, like, let's say you could only be Mega Evolved for 3 turns, similar to terrestrializing. But if you can collect more Mega Evolution energy during these attacks, you might be able to Mega Evolve a second time in the same battle, or you might be able to extend the duration of your current Mega Evolution, which would be quite cool. Now, this Tyranitar comes back to one of my other points. I don't know how big normal Tyranitar is, and I don't know how big off the top of my head Mega Tyranitar gets. I assumed they'd be about the same size. But that dude looks huge. So I don't know if the size thing has to do with, like, similar to the alpha Pokemon I talked about earlier, how we seem to have alpha Pokemon in this game and we have rogue Mega Evolutions in this game. It seems a bit odd to me to have both, but because this is giving, aside from if this had glowing eyes, then we, then we have the alpha rogue Mega Evolution. So it kind of feels like a bit of both happening here, but I think it's very cool. I'm really interested to understand how the Mega Evolution mechanic's going to work in this one, because with it dropping that Mega Evolution energy feels really, really different. That's cool. Let's jump over to Emma. Excuse me. All right, where is she? Emma. That's kind of the best place to go. One of them. All right. This is not so much observations as it is a couple questions. I've seen pointed out from the previous trailer that this office is Looker's office, Looker of the International Police from Pokemon X and Y. It's the same office layout. And in the end game, you rescue a little girl with an Esper, and the girl's called Emma. And I saw some speculation that the girl that was being battled in the promotional artwork from last time, and as the cover art, I believe, was Emma. And in this one, we have it is Emma, and she still has her Esper. Which, do we see that in the next shot? See it in one of the shots. Where is it? Not sure. Let's go back. This one just leaves me with a couple questions, and because I'm kind of hoping that we don't end up hey, all good, Toby. No worries at all, mate. No worries. So with Emma, a couple things that I wonder about, and this is kind of just me hoping they don't miss out on what could possibly be a good story here. So she's mentioned as the best detective in the city, which is fine. I mean, like, someone who's basically been raised by Looker from the International Police, and now she's her own detective using his old office, which I think is fantastic. I'm curious to know if she's with the International Police or if she's purely local. And I think, I hope, in some ways, I hope they don't bring the International Police into it too much. It'd be great to have like a little cameo, or like a little bit of lore to kind of tie the stories together. Or if she's actually a member of the International Police, but everyone thinks she's just local. I think that would be pretty cool. But it's an aspect, like, again, this is just they seem to have so many characters in this trailer with stories that would be fantastic to explore. And I'm hoping that they do that. I'm hoping that they don't just kind of have them as oh, I'm giving you a quest because we needed a quest giver and I have no personality. I'm hoping, really hoping, that because these have great stories, because they have such potential. Main thing I wanted to talk about today is going to our latest professor. Who is, here she is. Let's go a little bit further through. We are going to Mabel. Let's go a little bit further here. The sweetheart. There's a couple that, in fact, there's like this little bit of text here that got me really thinking. Mabel is the acting director of the Pokemon Research Lab. Let me switch over to, where's my other view? Yeah. Our previous professor, Professor Sycamore, he's not here. We don't seem to get our starter Pokemon from him. And if we look in the two bottom pictures here, those are pictures of Sycamore's lab, which is identical to Mabel's lab. Now, she is mentioned to be acting director, which implies that she's not the director, which means it's probably still Sycamore, and I want to know where he is. It seems odd that that someone else is taking up this key role when it should be him. The only thing I can think of is that he is missing. We can assume that there's some bad stuff happening. And a lot of bad organizations tend to employ Pokemon professors, or seem to, in some regard for, like, basically, like, filtering out research and stuff comes from somewhere. And the Pokemon professors are typically the hub of everything. And he specifically had a lot of theories around Mega Evolution and the Keystones, which, being that this story is probably going to revolve around why are there these rampaging Mega Evolutions, reminds me a fair bit of reminds me of Galar, how we had you could Dynamax and Gigantamax in very specific areas, but then you had these were they still called dens then? That that you could go and take on a Dynamax battle, a raid den. And Professor Magnolia's research was what was being used to study Eternatus and likely causing this havoc that eventuated into the Darkest Day coming back. There's a high chance that Sycamore's gone missing for similar reasons. There's a very high chance that he, because of his research into Mega Evolution, has got himself caught up in everything that's going down. And from what we learn about Emma, that she does provide us those side quests to go do, and that's great. But she also provides us information about the chaos that's happening with the rampaging Mega Evolutions, which implies to me that she's fairly core to the story, both the side stories and this main story around Mega Evolution. Not necessarily so much the battle royale, not battle royale, the nighttime battles. Was it the battle royale? But as far as the Mega Evolution side of it, she seems pretty key for that. And I'm hoping for a rescue mission, to be honest. I think it would be really fantastic to find out he went missing, Mabel's taken over, and we're going to end up rescuing him from whatever research facility he's been locked into. Probably rebuilding the ultimate weapon or a new version of it. Now, when it comes to Mabel, I've heard others point out and have noticed myself that over on this chair here, we have the Team Flare, albeit her hair color blue, the Team Flare logo. And over on her old artwork, we can see that on her belt. And she's made a few changes to how she looks, but we have an old Team Flare admin who is now acting director of a Pokemon research facility, which is the Sycamore Lab. So I just want to re-emphasize again that we have a Team Flare admin running the show. Now, that just has kind of alarm bells for me for a start, and I think it's going to be fun. And maybe she turned a new leaf. That would be kind of cool. That'd be interesting to see. There's a couple things though that I thought were a little bit interesting here. So if we compare her, just one of the instant vibes I got was a Nurse Joy vibe, and Nurse Joy in the Carlos region, does kind of have the similar hair loops, which she keeps both in a which Mabel keeps both in her old artwork and in her new one. And she's gone from like she's still rocking the mini skirts and tights thing, but she's now adorned with these like Pokeball like logos, which are very much like the Nurse Joy hat Pokeball logo and the little badge there. And I don't know if there's anything there. I just thought it was interesting. But I also noticed on Mabel's desk, there's not only the Team Flare chair, there's a Team Flare branded laptop, and there's also her little visor goggle things. Excuse me. Which we can see up in her original artwork here that all the admins had. She's just rocking these on her desk. They're just sitting there in the open while she's having conversations. She's not even hiding the fact that she was Team Flare. She's just leaving it out there in the open, which just feels kind of nuts to me. Like, no apologies, just there in your face. And again, if the professor's gone missing, you need someone to keep a front. And if Team Flare was to make a comeback, like a revenge story, this would kind of be how you'd want to do it, to be honest. And I think that's kind of cool. But I'm confused as to why Sycamore just hasn't shown up yet. Like, as the professor, he was a fairly, important character in the previous story. He's nowhere. We haven't seen, he hasn't like stopped being a Pokemon professor and now he's helping run this thing. Like, we have seen nothing of him. And so we have a missing person and we have a detective, and I'm really hoping those two things line up to be some sort of a big like kidnapping mystery rescue mission. I think would be absolutely fantastic. I'm all for that. That would that would be amazing. So yeah, I think that's all my thoughts at the moment. Yeah, some of those just some of those things around having to pick up the Mega Evolution energy, I think, is going to probably change the Mega Evolution mechanic quite a bit from the original games. I think that will be hopefully good. Hopefully good. It'll be interesting at the very least. And I'm really hoping for more syndicates. Like I said, if they end up being dual type, so if the Rust Syndicate ended up being poison and steel type, so poison for Weezing, Arbok, and Overquill, steel for Kingambit and Steelix, and if you add acid to steel, you would get rust, so that would make sense. If we are going to get some gym replacements with these syndicates and they turn out to be dual type teams that everyone wields, I think that'll be so cool. Like the monotype gyms feel a bit definitely a bit had it And I think that would be a really great way to shake it up. I'd love to see that done more moving forward, just to really complicate things. Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of positivity for this game coming up. I think it's looking fantastic. I can't wait to hopefully get to try it relatively relatively soon after we'll see. We'll see. Um be interested to know if you guys would like to see me stream it when I am able to get it. I'm definitely going to be sharing a lot of my thoughts on it as we go. Hoping to see, obviously, some new Mega Evolution designs. I'm not super fond of the Dragonite Mega Evolution. Could be worse though. Could be worse. I don't mind it. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah. So thanks all for watching. Uh, I'll hang around for just a moment. So if you guys have any other questions, love to be able to answer them or try to. Um, doesn't even have to be about this video. Just like ask me anything. Happy to talk about anything. But so far, I'm really looking forward to these games. Well, this game and just seeing what it brings because it feels like it's really doubling down on story with so many things. And yeah, there's because what have we got? We've got the Rogue Mega Revolutions, we've got the side quests, then we've got the new tiered battling system that the winner gets to make a wish, which is interesting. Then how do the syndicates fit in aside from tough trainers? How does Quasartico fit into everything? Why are we getting heavy Team Flare hints? And then what does AZ and his Floette? Like, it's great that they're there. Why are they there? Why? It's got to be a why, because otherwise it just sucks. So, yeah, no, it's looking to be a really great game. Looking forward to it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of these things that have gone over. I'm going to be digging into them a lot more. So, thanks for joining me. Hopefully, I'll be able to stream a little bit more often. Not sure what yet. Still trying to work through that. If you've got some ideas of what you'd like to see me stream, let me know. And I'm going to be trying to figure that out so I can I've got my next video, hopefully not too far away, hopefully within a week coming out, which is tied to Mega Evolution. And yeah, hoping to make both making streaming part of my regular content. Cool. Thanks, Toby. You have an awesome rest of your day as well, mate. Take care. All right. Catch you all later. Thanks very much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got plenty of excitement for what's coming up. It's going to be great.